Thought about signing up for Grubhub, but not sure if it's going to compare to the other delivery apps out there? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss on this episode. And stick around because we're going to show you exactly how you can make even more than the average drivers. Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Tyler from the Rideshare Guy, and on today's episode we're talking about Grubhub and ways that you can make money with it, how you can get started with it, and why you might want to use that versus other delivery apps. First, Grubhub is similar to a lot of the other delivery apps that are out there in the way that it's essentially restaurants need people to deliver food that don't have delivery service, and people want to make some extra money, so there's this delivery service is the middleman that makes it so that people can get food from restaurants that don't do delivery. So really simple concept that we're at this point very familiar with. That's exactly what Grubhub does. But what makes Grubhub different? Well, everything is going to be different with each different company. One of the main things is the amount of money that you get from Grubhub. So they actually have right now where you get paid driving to pick up a delivery. So for instance, most services that you're going to drive for, you get paid per mileage or whatever the case may be with how their app and algorithm is set up to make sure that you're getting the amount of money. It may just pop up on your screen and say, you know, the estimate for this delivery is going to be $1.70 or $2 or $8 or $20 with whatever the case may be. With Grubhub, it does the same thing, but you're getting paid to actually drive to the business to pick up, whereas a lot of the other apps, you're only getting paid once that food is in your possession. It's not much money. It's about 22 cents per mile, but it's still better than other ones that are giving you absolutely nothing. So it comes out to make a little bit more money in that aspect. Now, on top of that, their base salary is about $4 per order. So you're actually going to be getting even more money per order. I know some of my Uber Eats deliveries lately have been less than $2, $1.70 or $2.19. Obviously, people sometimes tip on that. Not always, but sometimes they'll tip on that. So a lot better to be a minimum of $4 plus a tip. And just like Uber Eats, typically if there's going to be a tip before you even pick it up. So it'll come up and it'll say $8 includes tip. They obviously, the people that are going to be eating the food, they have the option to add a tip later, increase the tip, decrease the tip, whatever. That's still a possibility with them. But you at least get that $4 and you'll know ahead of time and make it worth it or not. So the ultimate question is, who are you going to make more money with, whether it's Uber Eats, Doordash, or Grubhub? The answer is your market's going to be different than my market, and my market is going to be different than the next guy's market. So try to find out which one is the best for you. And it may be that maybe on one night it's better to do this one, maybe on another night it's better to do this one. For some people, they found that Grubhub is just better in general. Whether they want to do more than one app a night or just one app, Grubhub is going to be better for them in general in their area. So what we would recommend is that you try a couple of them out, try and do the same night. So on Friday this week, try one. On Friday next week, try another. So compare them apples to apples rather than, I drove Monday afternoon and I didn't make as much as I did on a Friday night driving for another app. Of course you didn't. You want to make sure that you're driving the same times so that you can get a fair comparison on which one's better in your specific market. But again, Grubhub has that minimum of $4. It may go down in the future, but right now that's where it's at. So that's a great starting point. And then the delivery, the tips on top of that, and of course the drivers get to keep 100% of the tips. So you're going to have that to look forward to as well. Another question we get a lot with all of our apps is it possible to cash out immediately? The answer is yes. Grubhub does also have that feature where you can get the money right away. You can wait for that weekly paycheck, as it were, for them to cash out for you, and you receive that in as a direct deposit to your bank account each week. If you can't wait and you need it right away, they do have the service. It does cost 50 cents. Unless you have a Chase bank account, and then you can set it up for absolutely free. So that's 50 cents. Again, if you need it, then 50 cents isn't going to be that bad. It's not going to hurt you. But if you can hold on, you can hold on to that a little bit of extra money, especially if you're doing that every night And if you're doing that for quite a while, then it's going to add up over time. So try to budget it out accordingly so that you only have to do that a few times or maybe even none. Unless, of course, you have the Chase account, then you can get it for free and do it as many times as you want then, because it's not going to affect you one way or the other with how much money you make. So Grubhub does work a bit different than other apps. So it has blocks that you sign up for. So you'll have a section of time that you sign up to drive for on this Friday between these hours or Monday afternoon. But you'll have blocks that you can sign up for. Now, that's great because now you know, okay, I'm going to be able to work those hours. I'm going to get a good amount of money those hours, and you get priority because you signed up for the block ahead of time. And doing blocks is a way to get recognition from Grubhub. We'll talk about that in just a second. But that's not the only way that you can get deliveries on a regular basis. If you're sitting at home and you've got nothing to do and you want to get out there and start making money, just like a lot of the other services that only have you can go on and off, Grubhub also offers that. So you'll get whenever they become overwhelmed and those that are on the block have already picked up deliveries and have too many and they can't get more, you'll get those extra deliveries. But at the same time, some people will sign up and then not show up. So they sign up, don't show up. So Grubhub has expected this amount of people. Then here you are, you turn on randomly because you just want to make some extra money. So you're going to start getting those deliveries as well. So you're not stuck to those hours that you pick for the block. You do want to work those to make sure that you get the recognition for it and you get the money for it. But you can drive anytime if you wanted to as well. So with that, Grubhub does have a recognition program, and they look at three things. They look at your acceptance of the orders and the percentage on that. They look at your attendance of blocks that you've picked up and whether you're leaving a little bit early or starting a little bit late. So they look to make sure that you're actually doing that. You're actually picking blocks up in general, because if you're not picking those up, that's how they figure out exactly how many drivers they're going to have. And they request the amount that they feel they're going to need. So sometimes they need more. Like we said, you can sign up to drive more. But signing up for them will give you recognition. Then the final thing is sticking to that. So do you leave early? Do you start late? Do you start it and then just give up on it? So sticking to the block that you actually chose. So all of these things go into the recognition. And then the question is, what do you get for that recognition? Well, you get better orders. You get first dibs at the blocks. So if you have the best recognition, then you're going to have first choice at the blocks that are going to make the most money. So you're talking Friday, Saturday nights, Sunday afternoon. And in my area, my market, Sunday afternoon is like the best when it comes to food delivery, we've found. So that would probably be one that Grubhub has that is really hard to get. But if you have a higher recognition, you're more likely to get the better blocks for it. Another thing you'll get for having the better recognition and higher recognition is you'll get catering orders, which catering orders, if people are tipping on that, those are going to be orders of hundreds of dollars sometimes, and you can get, if you get 10% on it, 20%, 15%, it can add up pretty quick, and those orders are not going to be that much more difficult because the restaurant, if they get a catering order, they're going to know about it, they're going to prepare it on time, and you're going to show up, be able to put it into your car and get to the customer and deliver it and get that extra money for the larger order. So again, another way to improve your odds of getting some extra money. But how can we, as individual drivers, without the recognition program that Grubhub has, how can we make sure that we're making as much? Well, we're going to look at 3 tips that we can. Now, number 1 is to have a good navigational tool. So we recommend Google Maps or Waze. Personally, I love Waze. It's the app that I use the most. I've used Google, I've used Apple, I've used a couple others. But Waze is my personal favorite. It has a lot of things. It explains the traffic. It'll ask you and keep up to date. It'll say, hey, there was a police officer in this area. Is he still there? So it's being updated by drivers as things are going. So it's the most updated there is. So that's why I really like it. But it also helps you to get there the fastest way as possible. The second tip to make the most money is to become familiar with your local restaurants. If there's a restaurant that is regularly getting delivery orders and you're going there and waiting 30 to 45 minutes for the food, you're not getting paid as much for that time. You could be making more money if you're getting other deliveries in other areas. So if you know that that restaurant is notorious for taking a long time to get the food out to its drivers, then when you see that delivery pop up, don't accept it. Because it'll allow you to get the next one that is going to take and be quick, that you can make that money and get out driving even faster. You can do 2 to 3 deliveries to that one that you waited for before. So our third one is to sign up for multiple delivery apps. So we don't recommend this when you're first starting out, because you want to get used to delivering food in general, but you want to get comfortable with each individual app. Then get comfortable with the second app. Then if you want to try to make more money, then start combining and doing multiple apps at the same time. That can definitely help increase how much money you're going to make, and it'll help you test and see which one makes the most money in your market. So definitely try that out. And then our final tip that we recommend to make as much money as possible with delivery is to sign up for our course, the Maximum Delivery Profits course at the Rideshare Guy. You can find out the information. Go to our website, check out the description below, and have all the information there for you. Can't recommend it enough. It'll definitely increase your profits so that you're not just making what the average driver is making, but you're making above average and making enough that it makes sense to get out there and drive. So really appreciate you sticking around. If you've driven for Grubhub or have any questions for Grubhub, please leave them in the comments below. We read every single one of them. Give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. We really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel. We have new episodes that come out every single week. And stay safe out there, everyone.